In this video, you will learn how to create a API documentation for our RESTful web services. So Swagger is used to document our all those web endpoints. So this is my application which I already created. Here you can see all those models, controller, and service layer. This is my controller, employee controller. In this, I created some endpoints: add employee, get employees by ID. Basically, I'm doing some CRUD operations with the employee. So now in order to enable the Swagger, let's open the pom.xml and copy the Swagger dependencies in a pom.xml file. So these two dependencies I added, Swagger 2 and Swagger 2 UI. Okay, now let's create a configuration file to configure our Swagger config. Okay, now annotate it with the configuration annotation and also enable Swagger 2. Yeah, here I created one docket bean. So let me format this code. Docket is a builder which is acts as interface to the Swagger and provides methods for our configuration. So and there's a method called select which will create instance of the API selector builder, and here we need to pass base packages to scan all those APIs, and we need to mention the paths for which we need to create a documentation. Here I specified any, so that it will take all those paths in that base packages. This is our enable Swagger documentation. So it will create all those documentation for all those endpoints. Now let's try to relaunch our application. Yeah, we got one endpoint for the Swagger 2 /v2 API dash docs. Let's open that endpoint. Yeah, here you can see the information from that Swagger in the JSON format. But as we added Swagger to UI in the pom.xml, we can get that representation in a HTML format also. So let's try to access that one, Swagger UI.html. Here you can see that a nice representation of those endpoints, the employee controller, which is from the base packages. Here you can see the different paths and the models. Here you can see the model ID, name, and tag, and the endpoints, post method, get method, and get method for get all employees. Let's try to hit post method by passing those employee object. So let's try that one. Here I need to click the try out. Okay, it should not ask the ID because it's auto generated one. So here I'm writing one annotation at that API model property hidden is equal to, so that it will hide from that UI. So now again relaunch our application. Now let's try to generate one post request, execute. Now you can see we got the response 200 and the ID generated as a 1 and the name. Now let's try to add one more employee. Share and the tech is some spring. Again execute. Now we got the response again, ID generated 2. Yeah, here you can see this is how we can test the APIs also from the Swagger UI. Now let's try to get all the employees. So get all employees, try it out. No parameters, so execute. Yeah, we got all those 2 employees records which we created earlier. Now get one employee. Here we need to pass one ID, so ID integer ID 1, execute. Yeah, we got the ID information 1, Bharat and Java. Here you can see the different errors codes, responses. Okay, now if we want to change this information, so for this purpose we need to add some configuration in that configuration file. So we need to add it Docker implementation. So here we are adding one method called API info. So for API info I'm creating one method, API info. Okay, let me import all those. Here you can see that API info class which accepts all those parameters. I am returning object of API info. So let me open that API info class, show you what are the different fields are there. Open API info. Yeah, this is a class which has title, description, version, URL, contact is a which another class, so license and everything. So I just created that API info object and return to the docket configuration. Now let's relaunch. Yeah, it's changed to our our name and description, everything was changed. Yeah, now if you want to change this method name or description, so for this let's open that controller. Where is it? Yeah, controller, and here I'm adding one annotation. So let me check that annotation. API operation. API operation, here you can see it describes an operation of typical HTTP method against a specific path, so that we can add that a description about that path. API operation value is equal to, and you can write some description. Add an employee to the database, some description. Yeah, here you can see in the API operation some more fields are there. Here we used a value, and you can see nodes and some tags also there. By default they are null, empty, so you can add that one later, if you want. Now let's relaunch. Yeah, application restarted. Refresh. Here you can see that updated description of that path, and in the same way you can write the description for all those methods and controllers. Okay, now let's open that swagger.io official website. You can explore the different tools are there. Let me open the Swagger editor for design the APIs. It's used to design and document our APIs by using the Swagger open API specification. So let's open the live demo. Here you can see the left side part is a complete API specification, and right side part is the output of that API specification. Let me go through. Here you can see the path endpoint, the method name, get name, and the tags means controller, produces, and description, summary, and the responses 200, everything configured, 400 response, and the reference to that model. The complete API specification we can write here left side, and right side is the output of that API specification. And after that we can generate the client for whatever the language we need in the server in the same way, and we can save this file as a YAML, and then later we can import it in our Spring application by using the Swagger Maven plugin. So as you can see that this is a same specification. You can see Swagger 2.0 info description. This is same as in the UI also. So now here you can generate all those API specification and export it as a YAML file, and import that YAML file in our application by using the Swagger Maven plugin. Then you can generate the controller, model, and services, so that you can implement that one later. So this is called API first development. That is, first develop the API specification, later you can generate the code from that. Refer the documentation link and GitHub.